because they're in constant contact with the market. But they are not objective, so you may have to interpret what they say and what they let you know. Service people are another excellent source of information because they get into places where even salespeople don't get into, and they get much more intimate with the customer's way of using your product. Next thing in this connection is that you have to be very fast. And Morita of Sony said, just make it, test it, and sell it. You don't always have the time to make a market survey, especially not on products that don't exist. And here's another point that is important. You make an advertising campaign, or you ask people to write to you in ads, in brochures, etc., write for more information. Now, if your interest of a product at a certain given time, once you say, okay, I'm interested in that product, let's say that is today, and it is 100% today, where do you think it is tomorrow? Do you think it's still at 100%? Or would you agree that tomorrow it is perhaps at 80%? Where is it tomorrow, day after tomorrow? It's no longer at 80, it's at 70%. What about 4 days later or a week later? A week later, people might not even remember that they had asked for an inquiry, or that they asked for a quotation, or they put an inquiry in order to know more about the product. And therefore, your whole advertising effect is wasted if you cannot follow up immediately, that's to say, the same day as you launch any kind of publicity. And with the internet system, with all our technological devices, with our possibilities, both fax and email and whatever you call it, all of that is easy, but you must do it. Don't waste time and opportunities and a lot of money by just being too late. Find out where you stand. And the small companies may be more in a position than the big ones, because the small ones should be flexible. They are much more flexible than the big ones. The big ones have power, but perhaps they are not that flexible. There was a saying at Chicago Airport, and it said on a big billboard, big enough to serve you, small enough to know you. Maybe you can imitate it. And what can you do in order to be so fast that you overtake your competitors? Now, with these two, part 1 and part 2 questions, this ends area number 1. So give yourself the average score on these 2 items. Are you at 5? Are you at 4? Are you at 3? Are you at 2? Are you at 1? If you are below 3, you must definitely do something to raise your score to above 3. Otherwise, you will not be able to compete successfully in tomorrow's market. The second area of your concern deals with your internal communication, your internal relationships in order to achieve synergy. Let's imagine that one of your salespeople in Buenos Aires gets a lead or gets an idea about something that could be useful for a salesperson that you may have in Sao Paulo. For instance, the opening of a new office. How can you make sure that this information gets to your salesperson in Sao Paulo? What do you do to create this kind of synergy inside the company, that everybody feels concerned about everybody else and forwards these leads, this information, to the person concerned? Because that is perhaps the secret of companies that are able to mobilize all internal resources. If you want to do it in a constructive way, you have to go further than just thinking about the organization of it. There must be some reward for the person, not only who concludes the business, but also the one who gives the lead, who gives the information. Everybody asks himself or herself, according to that famous radio station, WIIFM, which means, what's in it for me? And that's a station everybody listens to, everybody looks at, and everybody is interested in. So find out how you can make sure that all information, all leads, all intelligence goes from one source to the other to where it is needed and where it will help you to achieve an extra sale. Now score yourself on this issue also and determine how many points you deserve in this area. I can tell you that most companies fall very short of even 3 points. They rank about 2 and sometimes even 1. So it may be easy for you to get a big advantage over your competitors in this area. The third area deals with the market. Do you know what your customers buy elsewhere that they could also buy from you? Because there may be a great margin of profit that just goes astray or just doesn't go your way. It is, as you know, easier to sell to a customer you have to sell him more than to find a new customer to buy from you. Now, your salespeople will, for good or bad reasons, overestimate their part in the customer's purchases. So it is safe to assume that the part that goes elsewhere is bigger than you think, or that your salesman may even state to you. So get enough information to make, number one, make sure you know how much goes elsewhere, and 2, to give enough of an incentive to the customer to buy it from you rather than to buy it from somebody else. So please take your scoreboard and rate where you stand on this issue number 3. Question 4 is concerned with your knowledge of the market, competitors, and customers. How much do your salespeople know about customer projects over the next, say, 18 months? How much do you know, or they know, about competitors' actions? And what feedback does management get from all this information? The fourth area, in fact, is subdivided into 3 sub-areas, and they deal with our knowledge about our customers and also about our competitors. Salespeople obviously know a lot about their customers, but they pretend that marketing people often don't know the first thing about customers. Some even go as far as saying that marketing people have never met a customer in their life. So make sure that there's a better contact between your organization and the market. So sub-question number 1 is, what do your sales and marketing people know about your customers' projects over the next, say, 18 months? In some cases, it may be 12 months. Some cases it may be 12 weeks. Some cases it may even be longer than 1 year. This is a matter of utmost concern, because on that you can base your future strategy. The future strategy will obviously have to do with your customers' plans and projects. So, question, what do we know about our customers' projects during the first 18 months, next 18 months? Second question, what do we know about competitors' actions? What do they do? What is our links with customers, and especially, what are their links with customers? We obviously always say, our salespeople always say, well, we have very good relations with our customers. Maybe they have, but maybe also your competitors have equally good relations. You must find out about what your competitors do, and possibly find that out before anybody else does. That, again, is intelligence work, not spying, but intelligence work, which is part of the duty of salespeople. They are not only sellers,